Hey everybody, welcome to April 2019 Family History Project magazine. It's my great honor to introduce our person of the month this month. That honor goes to Great Aunt Dorothy Jane Simmons, 1895 to 1936, the firstborn child of William Paul Simmons, 1942, and Jerusha Charlotte Braden, 1877 to 1954. Dorothy was born in Morgan County, Missouri. She married Calvin Enoch Ford, 1893 to 1972, on the 21st of April, 1917, in Sedalia, Pettis County, Missouri. Together, Dorothy and Calvin had 5 children, and they were Calvin Merle, 1918 to 1973, Thelma Ava, 1921 to 2017, Mildred Ruth, 1925 to 2005, Charlotte Irene, who was born in 1929, still with us, and Donald Eugene, born in 1932, also still with us. Dorothy is interred in St. Paul's Cemetery, Stover, Morgan County, Missouri, while her husband Calvin is interred in Mount Vernon Cemetery, Fair Oaks, Sacramento County, California. Great Aunt Dorothy, April 2019 is dedicated to you. So buckle up, hang on. Family History Project magazine starts now.
It's your birthday, happy birthday. It's your birthday, happy birthday. It's a great day, that's what we say. Happy birthday.
Welcome to the Family History Project. Today we're talking about death certificates in Missouri, which we are very fortunate to be one of the few states that has theirs online. 50 years or older, the actual certificate, full certificate, that you can look at, print out, share, send, whatever you want to do, and research. They're working on, should be out here not too long, the year 1968. They're released every 50 years, so it has to be 50 years or older on the death certificate. And they start in 1910. They're pretty complete, but there's a few that slipped through the cracks that didn't get recorded, but they're generally, you can find something. Unless it was sometimes they lived way out in the country and they didn't get into town and record it. They didn't have a doctor. Things like that happen, especially the earlier years. The later years are pretty good. You can look up by surname, by maiden name, by father's name, for the later ones in Missouri. You can look up by county. You can pull the whole county. Say if you're just looking for Pettis County, Morgan County, Jackson County, you can pull the whole county up and look through it. It'll take you a while. You can also look up, say, if you have a relative named Tina and you don't know if she married anybody and she died in 1959, you can type in Tina 1959 and search and go through them. And sometimes you get lucky and there won't be that many. And you can find out, find her, because it'll list their maiden name. Not always, if they filled that information out right. You can find them sometimes pretty easy and find out who they married, when they died, where they were buried. And a lot of times family members are buried together. They moved away from where they lived and they're all buried, or they died in another state and they're buried all together in another state where they're from, or their parents, grandparents, things like that. So it's always good to check those out. It's free to use. It's a great source. I'm thinking Missouri is the only one that's online for free. Most of the other ones are online on Ancestry or on pay sites to use. Arkansas has theirs in book form. They're far later, I think like 1914 through the 1940s in book form. So there are a few states that have published these records, and more are. But they're really, really good source, especially if you're working in one county. You can pull up the county, and I would suggest you do that because the spellings of the surnames sometimes are really horrible, and you'll find, if you can't find them the first time you search for them, keep looking. All the spells go to the county and go through it, and a lot of times you'll find them. And you'll find where they're buried. So that's really helpful. The funeral home, different things on the cause of death, which, it's really helpful if you're doing medical information for your family history to give to your doctor. The doctor asks you, do you have a history of this? It's always good to look up this information and give it to the doctor. It's helpful for you and your health. They have all kinds of DNA health stuff too that helps out too, but this is really good information. A good way to find it out. It's free to use. It's online. You can look at it anytime you want. Check it out. See what's available. You'd be surprised. There's more stuff put up there every day, more stuff being indexed. But I've been using it since day one, since the death certificates come out on Missouri. I have a lot of Missouri people. I use it. There is not a week that goes by that I don't use it. That's how important the information is. And fascinating. You get to look at the cause of death, look it up, because you don't understand what the word is. You figure out what the actual cause of death is. Their parents' names as they're filled out, where they were born, their occupation, their years, months, and days they were alive, if it's filled out. If they were in an accident, if they had an autopsy. There's so many fascinating things. So I would say check it out, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, this is Family Heirloom segment, and this is just happens to be kitchen knives. Some of them belong to my grandmother and aunts and great aunts, and some of them are collected other places. It is simply to restore them. I sand them down. If you get an electric sander, it's a lot quicker. You can hand sand them, whatever you have. Sand them down, wipe them off, and then you stain whatever kind you like. I happen to use this Polyshades. It's stain and polyurethane in one step, so it saves a lot of time. Put it on, let it dry. I usually let it sit for 2 days because it's kind of sticky afterwards. And once you get done, you get a really nice knife. This happens to be a walnut handle, wood one. This one right here is a knife that was my grandmother Simmons's, and it's got a date of 1923 on the blade of it. I've sanded it down really good, and it's still useful, and I still use it to this day. I have a lot of other old knives, and if I find a nice one that I can redo, and these right here are ones that need to be redone, that are walnut. I haven't redid them yet, so I could show you what they don't look like much, but when they do get done, they look really nice. They look very nice. And then I have a sharpening stone that I sharpen them. And I do use them because I like to cook. And the ones that are family heirlooms, I do intend to pass on to somebody, whomever is interested in using them. But I want to pass them on to family members because it was something that I was cherish and always have, and I've kept them forever. So, and you can do this with anything, whether it's knives or hammers or whatever family heirloom you have. I restore a lot of furniture and different things, kitchen utensils, you know, whatever you collect. Restore it, pass it on to other family members, enjoy it while you can. Write down who it come from so other family members know where you got it from, because a lot of things are not written down, so they get thrown out, or they don't know who they came from. So you want to pass that along. Put a little tag on it. Say, this is from my grandmother or great-grandmother, so people know where it come from. Because if it's not, it'll get lost over time. People won't know. So it's a good idea to do that and pass it on. Some people are not interested in antiques. Other people are. So pass it along to somebody who's interested. But we'll have more stuff about this later in other segments, but this is just the start, and I give you ideas what you can do, and we'll have more in the future. So if you have any ideas or want to know more about it, let us know.